Welcome back to the Making Sense of Money podcast, presented to you by P1FCU, where we tackle all the financial topics that matter the most to you. I'm your host, Tanis, and today we have Billy Jeffrey Scharnhorst with GNC in the Lewiston Center Mall. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. It's
Absolutely.
great to be here.
You're an exciting guy to have on the show. So.
Well, I don't know about that, but we'll see what happens.
I thought you could start by just telling us a little bit about yourself and your role at the Lewiston Center Mall.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Billy Jeffrey Scharnhorst. I'm from Lewiston, born and raised.
And you're wearing Clarkson colors. So
I am wearing Clarkson colors, but I'm a Bengal. But GNC colors just happen to be this. But yeah, from the Valley, I'm a local guy that just, I learned about goal setting at a very young age. And I probably took it too seriously, actually. So everything in my life has a goal. And then once I set that goal, I have a plan to achieve that goal. And so that's in all aspects of my life. And so in business, when I was younger, I remember taking over my sister's playhouse and opening up Billy's baseball cards.
Oh my gosh.
And I was selling baseball cards, and I was taking everybody's lunch money back then. And then, get through school and you get to LC and taking business classes. And I kind of already knew what I wanted to do, though. And I remember my business teacher calling me up after class one day, and class was over, and he called me up, and here I think I'm in trouble. And he said, "Billy, what do you want to do?" I said, "I really want to open up my own vitamin store."
Wow.
And he said, "I'll tell you what you need to do. You need to go do that. You need to finish up here at LC and then go work at a GNC store. You got all the tools you need, and do it." And so when I was 20 years old, I opened up the General Nutrition Center here in Lewiston. I was the youngest GNC owner in the company's history.
Oh, cool.
And tackled that goal. And fast forward 28 years, we're still around, we're still relevant, we're doing our thing, we're helping people. And that has led to so many other opportunities. Just being a part of GNC has led to so many other opportunities in my life that I've been able to do. And it's all based on, having a vision, setting a goal, and making it happen.
That is like such a special mindset to have. Like it's just a skill that's like embedded in your head. And as a young kid, being a little entrepreneur, like that's insane.
Yeah. And it wasn't at first. And I feel like when I do guest speaking and I make appearances, I feel like goal setting has really been lost in the last decade or two, which is really sad because it's such an awesome tool. When you look at the numbers and you look at the statistics, when you set a goal, you're 35, 40% more likely to accomplish that in some way or another. You may not hit the ultimate top tier that you're trying to get to, but you're going to get further than if you didn't.
For sure.
And then if you understand goal setting and having a plan to set that goal, I'm a numbers guy. I want to win like everybody else does. And when you find out that using goal setting for your life can work in any aspect, whether it be business, whether it be financial, whether it be personal, I think it's something that really should make a comeback. And so I'm bringing it back.
Yeah, absolutely. Being a business owner, obviously with GNC, and then being the general manager of the mall, how do those two roles work together besides the obvious?
Yeah, it's a great question. And when the new owner, David, took over and found out, my name and what I've done and, kind of my MO basically, and he approached me on the management position, I, had to take a couple days to think about it.
I bet.
I've got a lot on my plate, which I like, but really taking over that mall management role, I had to sit there and think about this. Now, I've never managed a shopping center before, but really the day-to-day stuff is very similar as my day-to-day stuff at GNC. And I'm there every day anyway, right? So it started making more sense. And to be honest with you, if I could think of a name that I could have gave them that could have done the job, I would have done it.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, I'm the guy.
Yeah.
I'm that guy. And when I sat there thinking about it and what the mall used to be, it's a really special position to be in because a lot of people remember what the Lewiston Center Mall used to bring.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yeah.
Well, I was there too. I was the kid that my mom dropped me off, and I went walking around and trying the colognes and getting an Orange Julius and looking for girls and, all that stuff, right? And so what I wanted to do is bring as much back of the nostalgia that everybody remembered.
Yes.
But it is, well, this was 2024, But it is a different landscape now. Retail has changed, shopping centers have changed. And so in talking to other managers and owners of shopping centers, including David owns a number of centers nationwide. He said, listen, we're going to do great. And anything that you don't know, I'm going to teach you. Well, of course, I went out and did my own education and got everything lined up of what I wanted to do and told David, I've got a goal. I was going to
say new goal.
Oh, yeah, new goal. I got a vision.
Goal.
I got a plan. And we're going to turn this thing around. It's been a little over 2 years, and it's been such a fun challenge. And to be honest with you, after 28 years in the supplement industry, I love it. I love when people come in the store and they tell me what they want to do, and I give them everything I got to help them get to their goal. But after a while, honestly, you need something else to get you out of bed in the morning.
Yeah.
Right? And this was the thing that lit a new fire under me. I knew I could do this. I knew I could bring this thing back. And so fast forward 2.5 years in, we've got 3 new businesses. We got 3 more that are coming. I'm working on 3 leases right now. We brought all the events back, which have been really fun. And it's been really fun to be able to connect with people again on that level, ground floor, people coming back to the center. They're getting their hair cut. They're grabbing a burger. They're going to, going to GNC. They're working out. I mean, now we're really becoming that spot where you can go and spend some time.
Yeah.
And the more time people spend with other people, I mean, obviously that's always a positive. So.
And it opens up your mindset too of the mall doesn't have to just be shopping.
Correct.
Macy's and JCPenney's was so huge. I mean, that's mainly what I remember besides, walking around and doing nothing, going into Claire's and getting cheese curds or whatever that looks like. But looking at it now and I go there to work out and I'm going to the mall to work out. That's so cool. There's so many opportunities. It doesn't have to just be retail and
totally. And that's a great point. And that's the new landscape of shopping centers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bring in more food, bring in fitness, obviously have some shopping,
spending
but
time.
let's broaden the mind and think, what else can we put in here that's unique that can bring people to the property?
Yes.
And that's what I'm piecing back together, because what I see is right now we've got a puzzle and we've got some missing pieces, and it's my job to find those missing pieces, but those pieces have to fit.
Right.
And so Dave, the owner, has given me complete creative control over the center. And not to mention, we make improvements on the property every day. So not only did we need to get some stores back, obviously, right? But we needed to improve the property.
Right.
We had been so run down, and that old management company had basically left us for dead. And so we've been able to make improvements, whether it's the parking lot, the inside, the doors. The first thing I did was called our electrician and got him up there and said, we need to fix those handicap doors.
Wow.
That's the first thing I did. And every day I try to find one other thing that we can work on so people's experience when they come to the center, they leave going, that was awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
We're coming back.
Yeah. So. And, being raised in the Valley and, growing up here, like you said, the nostalgia surrounding it is it's so cool to see the life back into it, especially around Christmas time. That was the most memorable times where it's just packed and, everybody jokes about it being a hall, but it's a really special hall.
Yeah, it really is. And back in the day, there was maybe 10, 15 vendors.
Yeah.
We had 64 vendors at our last Christmas event.
So cool.
And that has grown into, we have an Easter event. We brought back trick-or-treating for the kids.
Yeah.
We've got our spring, our summer, and they're all a smash hit because people want to be around people. I mean, as AI as we're going right now, and as internet driven and phone driven that we are, the bottom line is everybody wants to see people at some point.
Absolutely.
And we are the place to do that.
And an awesome vessel too for these small business owners who are just trying to get their product out there or whatever that looks like. That's just a really cool opportunity. Sure. So you kind of mentioned the era of big department stores closing. When those Macy's and JCPenney's and these big stores are closing, what's your mindset? I mean, are you thinking of just immediately the future or?
Oh, instantly.
Yeah.
I'm very nostalgic, but I have to be looking forward too. If I spend too much time looking in the rearview mirror, we're not going to get there. Yeah. So I have to be looking forward, and I hit the gas. I mean, I have messaged everybody from Abercrombie and Fitch to Zoomies. Oh. Nice. You know, now, not that I've gotten messages back from them, but I have messaged them all at least twice.
How cool would that be?
And so, you know, I'm just constantly working on ideas and different formulas that I think that'll work. Now, obviously, David's relationships with the bigger brands has really helped. You know, we've been able to get things like Planet Fitness and things like that, which I've been a small part of, but it's a team effort. You know, I get a lot of credit for this stuff, but the reality of it is it's a team effort. You can't do this thing with one person. Yeah. And so looking forward to the future, obviously those big spaces that are well over 10,000 square feet are super important to be able to pay the bills in the center. Now, we have spoke to a lot of great big brands, but right now where the economy's at, I mean, a lot of those brands are holding off on expansion right now. And so what we have to be willing to do is just wait out that phase. Yeah. We're getting phone calls. We are talking to bigger brands. We're talking to smaller brands. I mean, but the reality of it is we just need to make sure and stick to the plan.
Absolutely. You know, so. And making sound decisions that might sound good in the moment, but think about 5 years from now, you know, is that going to be a total flop? Or
going back to my puzzle, is that piece really going to fit? Yeah. Am I trying to push that piece in and it's just not fitting? I need to grab a different piece, right? You know? Right. And so the one thing that I wanted to do is when my vision in my head, when I see it done, it looks a certain way, it feels a certain way. And that's the biggest takeaway. So we know it's going to be a long-term process. We're in it for the long term. Our ownership is in it for the long term. And bottom line, it's all for the community. Yeah. That's what I'm doing this for. Right. Like, you know, so I can help out and put my little chapter in the book of Billy Jeffrey that hey, remember when Billy got them all put back together again? You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just a great feeling.
Absolutely. So how do you approach businesses when you are wanting them to, you know, or pitching, taking a chance on little old Lewiston and the mall?
Well, you know, that's a great story. You know, when I was working the Hobby Lobby deal, a little inside story that nobody knows about. This is the exclusive, by the way. Yeah. The CEO called me and we were on a conference call, and I remember Dave, the owner, had called me and said, "Hey, I really need you to talk to this guy. He's on the edge. He's on the edge." And the issue basically is each brand of clothing or department stores or whatever do what's called a demographics. And what they do is they take a demographics of the area, they take the population, how much each household makes, how many people are in each house. But what these, you know, office floor guys don't see is the surrounding areas, right? So I said, "Are you at your computer?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay, type in Lewiston, Idaho." And then I counted all of the little cities around within a 30, 40 mile radius where we have 11, 12 little cities. I said, "Listen, you are going to own, don't look at it as just Lewiston, Clarkson, and Soton. Look at it. You got Cul-de-sac, Colton,
Lapway.
I mean, everybody, right? And so once he saw that, he was like, "Oh, I see. You cannot forget those other spots."
So unique.
And the next day, the deal was locked down.
That's so cool.
So that's one aspect, is getting people to see the whole picture and the package that we provide a brand, right? Yes. That's probably the most important.
Yeah. I mean, and it makes the most sense too. It's from your perspective and then their perspective as far as smart business decisions. And I mean, Hobby Lobby is no small feat. I mean, that's a massive relationship.
Well,
and Planet Fitness.
And what about CVS?
Yeah.
I mean, people don't really realize that's was Rite Aid. That was Rite Aid. They were leaving. They left Moscow. They left Pullman. We approached them with a great deal, but the idea of look where we're going, look what we're doing. But we got to understand that CVS deal was huge. I mean, to get them to convert from Rite Aid and commit to the Valley and the people here to be able to bring their department store and their prescriptions and everything that they provide was huge, because otherwise we'd have another, 26,000 square foot empty spot.
Right. So. Absolutely. So with those exciting additions that, we've mentioned, what do developments like that mean for the mall and the community, other than a place to go and more service? And
listen, I've never met anybody that didn't want to shop local.
Right.
But you got to have the stores,
Mm-hmm.
and the stores have to have the right pricing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I've been able to keep GNC relevant for all those years, by having a high quality product, have it in stock, and have it for the right price.
Right.
So each person that comes to the center, when we sit down just like this and I say, listen, what do you bring to the property?
Mm-hmm.
It's not, I reverse it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm not like,
how can
we
you
really
help
need
me?
you. We really need you.
Yeah.
Okay.
How
We
can you
do
help?
need you, but this is a partnership.
Absolutely.
What benefits are you going to bring to my goal, to what I'm building here? And I get to know the business owner.
Yeah. So much more than just that rental income or whatever it may be for the mall. It's like you're having to look at every single piece of the puzzle, which I think makes you really good at your job, because that's stuff that you don't think about when you think about local businesses coming into the mall or any space.
Yeah.
Those are questions that I'm like, oh my gosh, I would never think to ask how that impact would affect the community or the mall.
Well, yeah. And that's the level 2 question to the level 1 question.
Right.
Like, hey, Bill, we're going to get some businesses in here. You know what I mean? Well, of course we are.
Yeah.
But I don't want to, listen, I could have the center full right now if I wanted
Right.
to. But again, does that piece of the puzzle fit, right? It
So
has
cool.
to fit for what vision that I have. And,
Yeah.
and it's great that I have the creative control to be able to do that. It's going to be a long-term plan, but so far, so good.
Yeah.
So.
What would you say the impact of your efforts affected jobs in the Valley and community engagement?
I think so far with the businesses that we brought, we've been able to keep some of the jobs, like, meaning a lot of the Rite Aid people went right back to work for CVS. Some of the Rite Aid people went to Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby, obviously, they have a huge staff. Billy, the manager of Hobby Lobby, is doing a great job there too.
Awesome.
And so I think, I don't know if I've really put together anything so far that's brought this great industry. Listen, I'm just a guy trying to fill an empty mall. You know what I mean? I really, when it comes down to it, this is not that serious. It's not life-threatening, right? And I don't want to blow too much wind up my skirt at all, because it's, again, team effort, and that's not what I'm about. But the point is, we've been able to keep some jobs here that probably we would have lost. Now, let's not forget, too, the wing of the mall, right? Murray Insurance, Electric Rays, the nail salon, like all of that is our property as well. And so we've got ideas to expand that out too, and make that more fun on that wing.
For
So
sure.
I think eventually, especially with the 3 deals that I'm working right now, we're going to be able to bring even a better experience later this year and early next year as well. So,
amazing. Yeah. Well, and it's more desirable. Like, if there's people who are thinking about moving to the Valley, like, maybe those things that are being brought to the mall, maybe that brings them,
I hope so. I hope we can do our little part, right?
Yeah.
Because before, when we lost JCPenney's and Macy's and everything was crazy, during COVID, GNC was the only store that was open in the entire center, right? Inside. Yeah. And so you bring up a great point. I think when people come to town and they think about moving to Lewiston, there's a lot of decisions. Obviously, the high school has helped, redoing downtown. Lewiston is getting better, but we needed something. When you pull into the center and you go inside and you have this big empty property, that's not appealing. And so hopefully, and it's working, we can fix that little part. So maybe somebody that's checking off the things on their list can go, okay, we got a little bit of shopping. You know what I mean? I hope so.
You say it's not that serious, but that sounds pretty freaking serious to me.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of other aspects that are going on in the world, right?
Of course.
But to be able to have a couple of name brand stores and do the things that we do in the center, I feel very confident that we can be a part of a positive, a positive aspect of the Valley.
Yeah,
so.
You're doing it proud for sure. Amongst all the stuff we've talked about, what is the most exciting for you moving forward?
I don't even know if I know that yet.
Yeah, good. That's
so
great.
many things have happened that I didn't realize were happening at the time or happened. And again, I look forward, right? So I'm really bad at pausing sometimes and saying, look at this and
Yeah.
take a mental picture. I've tried to get better. I've tried to get better at during the Christmas market that you brought up, right? You were obviously there. You had fun. You had a great experience.
Yeah.
I try to go out into the hallway and just stand there for a minute, take a breath and go, now look what's happening.
Yes.
You know, take a mental picture of what's happening because again, team effort, but this thing has just been amazing. And then I go back to work.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to sit on it too long, but I think the biggest thing though, the biggest takeaway is people stopping in the store or catching me in the hallway. I mean, I can't make it 20 feet anywhere in town without someone saying, Bill, love what you're doing with the center.
Absolutely.
Man. It's just awesome. And that obviously makes me feel good. It makes the team feel good.
For sure.
But the reality of it is we got more to do. You know, we've come a long way, but I got more to do. So I'm just focused on moving forward right now.
Well, it's great. I agree. I think all of our viewers can agree that they're excited about what's being done and what the future holds. And I know I am too, for having 2 young kids in the Valley. It's like, it's one of the things that you fear is, what are they going to have to do? Or places we can go spend time as a family. Yeah. That's, you know, you don't have to spend money. You can just be. So I'm really excited. And I know a lot of viewers are too.
I hope so.
My last question is, what is one thing that you wish you would have known about money earlier in life?
Great question.
I mean, you've got a lot of experience, so.
Yeah. So on my social media, I started this thing called Finance Friday. Finance Friday is to be able to teach people about money and finances. Now, how does that relate to fitness and GNC? It's really very close, okay? The same discipline that you need with fitness is the same discipline you need with finances. Now, let's just throw this out there. Not everybody is into finances. Not everybody's into fitness either.
Yeah.
There are some people that are just like, I couldn't care any less about taking vitamins. There are other people that say, I do not care about saving money or knowing about compound interest or knowing about how much a car costs when I actually buy it or a house or whatever, right?
Doesn't mean it's not good for you.
Exactly. And so what I'm trying to do is educate people on how I became successful both in fitness but also financially. Now, that's not a, you know, I'm not trying to say I'm the guy in that category or anything like that, but there's so many things that I didn't know. Let me give you an example. I remember buying my first car. For some reason, there was a certain car it was the Dodge Durango. Ooh. I had to have a Dodge Durango. I had to, okay? And that was the goal, okay? Well, I finally reached a point after 6-7 years in business where I could actually afford the payment on a Dodge Durango. So I go down to the car place here in town and I say, I want a Dodge Durango. And I get a Dodge Durango. And I soup it all up. And we've got the stereo and all this crap I don't need. And a couple years later, I find out what interest really is and what depreciation really means, right? I haven't bought a new car since.
You're like, oh.
Yeah, right? Okay, so when I go to sell that Durango, it's half the price I paid for it, whatever. Yeah. So if people understand that trying to floss and buy these things and whatever, again, that's some people's thing and it's not some people's thing. Now at that time, I had to have that Dodge Durango and the stereo and thought I was so cool. And really what I should have been doing is buying a used vehicle that I know I could afford and then taking that money and putting in my Roth IRA, having my emergency fund and having these things set aside. Because when it starts raining, and it's going to rain, right? Things are going to go wrong at your house. Yeah. You're going to get a flat tire. Expenses are going to come up. Maybe somebody gets sick, whatever it may be. Now I understand that all these years later. And so I've been able to build these things financially, much like I did my physique and fitness. So that way, if something ever happens, it's not as stressful. Right. And since we know now statistically that financial stress is one, the most stressful things that people go through, and 2, the hardest thing on a relationship. Well, why wouldn't we want to work with fitness and finance? It's 2 things that actually go together, and they're a lot closer than people think. Yeah. But you have to have discipline. You have to have discipline to both look at your situation honestly, give yourself an honest assessment of where you are right now, and set a goal to where you want to be. Because I don't meet very many people that say, I don't want financial freedom.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Okay. I don't meet very many people that say, I don't want to be in shape.
Yeah.
Now, whether you actually do the things that it takes to do to accomplish those two goals is one thing, but at least I'm giving them the information so they can do it if they want to.
Yeah.
And these are things that I did not learn in high school. These are things that I did not learn in college. I don't know if they're teaching them now. I hope they are, because we have to understand that with inflation and everything that's going on financially, you have to pay attention to this now.
Yeah.
It is important.
Yeah.
And I think that doing the Finance Friday on my social media has expanded my brand. And it's amazing the feedback I've gotten from people like, hey, Billy, I saved up the $1,000 in my emergency fund and I paid off my credit card and I decided to get a used car because of this. Yeah. And so it's kind of been fun seeing that other side. And the slogan that I have is be financially fit.
Yeah.
And so I think it's something that is super important. I think it's more important than people think. And if they focus on it, it really is easy to gain financial freedom. But you have to be disciplined. 100%. So that's one thing that going in, you have to be disciplined.
Yeah. So. Well, it's a great tip. If anybody's going to take away anything today, that's fantastic. Well, you make the Valley proud for sure. So thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing all the things that you could about all the exciting things in the future with the mall, and then all of the awesome insight. I know a lot of us are going to benefit from that. So
great.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. We hope you learned something new today and feel one step closer to making sense of money. Don't forget to check out our newsletter and subscribe at p1fcu.org. We'll see you next time.